Evolve your game and get a $100 bonus. Sign up now at TVG.com.
Dead last, and then kind of gets back somewhat into position, but after that has a wide trip from off the pace, still runs on willingly and closes willingly to finish fifth that day in the field of 10. He was defeated by 8 lengths, but look how wide he is into this first turn. He's wide on the second turn as well. I thought it was a very good effort despite the trip that he had and the poor start. Now he's going to come back with blinkers, and we talked to Gary Contessa yesterday, and Gary had said that, well, I've kind of wanted to put blinkers on this horse for a few starts, but he'd been running so well, it's tough to make a change. And then after that start last time out, Gary Contessa said, okay, you know what, now it's time to put the blinkers on, and he's been training very well with them on as well.
Yeah, you've been in touch with him really throughout the last few weeks. This horse is going to school in the paddock today. If he needs a second schooling, he'll go again tomorrow on Kentucky Oaks Day and get to the paddock and do a little bit more schooling. But that's probably not going to be the case. I think if today goes well, he'll be ready to go on Saturday with no more schooling needed. And good luck to Gary Contessa, his very first Kentucky Derby starter.
Exactly. And Uncle Sigh will be going from post position 3. Arad Ortiz Jr. will be riding. As we take a look back at the Gotham Stakes, now this was 2 starts back, and this was another tough battle with Samrat, who we'll be talking about in just a few moments here. Now, Uncle Sigh is in between horses there. You can see with the yellow bridle. That was In Trouble on the inside, Samrat on the far outside. This was a spectacular finish and a great effort from these 3 horses, but Uncle Sigh is in a tough spot in between horses there.
Yeah.
A very uncomfortable spot for a lightly raced horse, but he shows some heart there and toughness battling the entire way.
And a new rider as well, Corey Nakatani with Dance with Fate. Arad Ortiz Jr. is going to get the mount in the Kentucky Derby on Uncle Sigh. He's coming off of that 5th place try in the Wood. Wicked Strong won that race. Samrat was second. All 3 of those horses are back in the Kentucky Derby. The problem has been horses coming out of the Wood Memorial have been whiffing in the Kentucky Derby. The last 22 horses that raced in the Wood and went to the Kentucky Derby haven't even hit the board. That is a big drought. Maybe at least 1 horse finishing 2nd or 3rd, but 22 horses in the last 10 years have gone on to Kentucky from the Wood and not finished in the top 3.
And the best finish, or tied for the best finish, was last year, Normandy Invasion. Now, Empire State of Mind, if we take a look at the New York breds in the Kentucky Derby, the only New York bred to ever win it.
Yeah.
Funny Side.
Special year.
Yep.
Funny Side, they celebrated that 10-year anniversary last year at Saratoga. They had a big day for Funny Side. So maybe one of these New York breds, there's 2, Samrat and Uncle Sigh, can have a big celebration if they get it done.
Now, let's talk Leap of Faith. And we talk about horses who were coming in with only a maiden win on their resume. Yeah. We have Uncle Sigh, who was, yes, very tough second in the Withers and the Gotham, and then a tough trip 5th in the Wood. And Commanding Curve, who he's had trouble in a lot of his starts.
He's that impossible. He's 50 to 1 morning line.
Shot.
Yeah, you know, you go back to that 3rd place try in the Louisiana Derby. He was coming from the clouds. Horses really weren't coming from that far back at the fairgrounds that day, and he was able to go from 10th to 3rd. He's going to be overlooked, but he might be able to sneak into the Super.
I think he's a horse to use at a big price. Now, let's talk Danza, who really surprised a lot of people with his win last time out in the Arkansas Derby. He was 41 to 1 that day. Got a great trip. It was a great ride from Jersey Joe Bravo, staying in behind horses along the inside and slipping through on the rail, coming to the quarter pole. Now, Dave, I think from post 4, with the speed to his inside, he may be able to work out a similar trip that he got in the Arkansas Derby.
It's not easy to work out a trip at all in the Kentucky Derby with so many horses. So I think it's a pipe dream to think that he's going to get through like that, turning for home at Churchill Downs.
Here's the thing now, though. We're going to have a good amount of speed early on in this race. At least that's how I look at it. And a lot of horses going, actually all these horses going a mile and a quarter distance for the first time. And that last race that we took a look at for Vickers in Trouble, when he was under left-handed encouragement in the lane, he started getting out a little bit. If Vickers in Trouble is on the front end at the top of the stretch, we may see the same kind of thing, and maybe Danza gets a similar run that he got last time out.
Well, you're not going to get 41 to 1. He's 8 to 1 on the new adjusted morning line with Opportunity being scratched. Danza had never been past 7 furlongs up until his last race. But he loved that extra distance, going a mile and an eighth. He was getting stronger as they went along, but he lacks seasoning. You know, he's only raced 4 times. When you look at the list of horses that have been able to win with less than 4 starts, it's a thin list.
You see Big Brown there had only 3 going in. That was back in 08. Animal Kingdom, 2011, had 4. But now the worry is with Danza is he a bounce candidate off of such a big effort in his first start going around 2 turns? And it was a big win. He still seems a little green in putting it all together. Maybe that's a sign that there's still a little more left in the tank.
And is the Arkansas Derby really a live race right now?
That's a good point.
You know, he beat right on Curlin. Bayern came back to barely get a nose in front in the Derby trial, but was disqualified. Tapiture didn't really fire his best shot in the Arkansas Derby. So some people are going to be really high on Danza. I'm on the fence right now.
Well, that's the first 4 entered to go for the Derby, scheduled to go on Saturday. We are going to head to a break here on the Morning Line. And when we come back, though, we'll be talking about your Kentucky Derby favorite, California Chrome, right after this.